I started this image on the 8th of February and I'd asked the question and wrote it on the back, what is poetry? Because there's no clear defined answer for that. As soon as you go to describe what it is, you come up against things that are like, well, you can do that in prose also. And yet when we read a poem or hear a poem, we kind of know, yeah, that is a poem because it's got like a rhythmic quality or the imagery is a certain way. So I thought I'd ask the question in art. And essentially the answer is a mushroom-headed old guy on the right-hand side looking into a circular green object that has this sort of like wheel-type cross symbolism in the centre. And his arm is reaching across to what it looks a little bit like a cow or bull crossed with a shell. So I can now file this away into my thesis as the conclusive answer. So there's just a close-up on that mushroom-headed old guy's face. As I say, he's looking into that green object. His head is kind of attached and also not attached to this sort of quite muscular body. As usual, I've filled in the space because I don't like it. And I did a little squiggle that you can kind of see at the top there. I'd mostly done the background in green, but I thought there should be some balance and have a little bit more blue. And when I squiggled, it ended up like this sort of disembodied face that was kissing the top of the mushroom head. I guess if I'm looking at the mushroom sort of symbolically, some people use that as a way to access the underworld. We talk about poetry as a way to use the subconscious symbolism and play with the spirit as words and rhythm. So that's kind of like the body of that sort of mushroom-headed figure. And like I say, the head is it is attached at 2 points. There's no neck as such unless it's just sort of like crouched over, sort of like that idea of like somebody holding up the world a little bit, isn't it? Is that Hercules? I can't remember. So his hand is kind of outstretched, reaching into, like I say, I think that face looking right at us is a bull or a cow, but it looks like it's got this sort of shell feature on the side. So we're looking at sort of Venus type symbolism there, goddess mythology, this idea of the difference between like the rational mind and the imagination. But the imagination is something that is actually force. I guess a bit like how we describe gravity. And then there's a bit attached to the back of that, because actually at the back of that there's a head with a mouth or hand either breathing out this silver colour or there's like that hand symbol like calf. And it looks a bit to me like that's somebody riding along on a horse or something. So this sort of centre green womb type symbolism, also jar, kind of looks a little bit like there's somebody sat in there and the top of their head is against this curled up dragon. And that centre cross type symbolism is both the wheel and Newt the city symbolism. So there's probably a poem in there about a mushroom-headed guy who walks into a bar and has a chat to a bull called Michelle about the flying dragon he saw earlier. Thanks for listening and please like and subscribe.